This week, I'm back to competing for some ATP points. I'm here in Heraklion in Greece, playing a week of singles and doubles, all in a bid to improve my ATP ranking once again. I got a lot of matches under my belt, making the semi-finals of 2 UTR Pro 25k events in Japan. I played 10 matches in 2 weeks, which was a little bit of strain on the body, but I had a really good confidence going into these weeks in Greece. And for those of you that are new, my name's Felix, and I'm trying to be one of the best 1000 ranked ATP players in the world, which is going to require me to get 10 to 12 ATP singles points, which I can gain from getting to the main draw of these types of events and winning my first round match. So this week is a big opportunity for me. I was really looking forward to it. This week I was playing doubles with Christian Tam, an Estonian player who I've actually played against in Poland, and this was one of my first hits on the court, so I was really just trying to feel the ball. These courts definitely played very different to the courts in Japan. Right guys, so solid practice done. Such a nice weather here today. You really appreciate the days that you're on court. Actually feeling really good on the court, even though I haven't had too many hours, which is always a good feeling. And the main thing is I'm super positive. I don't know what it is. Feeling really good, working really hard on and off the court. Lots of big things coming for you guys, but yeah, I'm excited. Gonna go grab some coffee. We still got one match to go on our court. I don't mind a little coffee break. It's not every day you play a tournament, you can grab some food, walk right next to the beach. Feels like I'm on holiday, to be honest. This is the absolute makeshift setup we've got working this week. I, let's just say, didn't bring the fence mount thingy, so we found a way to improvise. It's gonna go on the fence, and this, for any of you wondering, is the battery pack that I connect it to, so the GoPro lasts for the whole match. Very professional. And we had the pleasure of playing the seed number ones in the first round. Both ranked very high on the doubles rankings, Matsuda being 239 in the world and Sakellaridis being top 400. We knew it was going to be a tough test, but we were ready. So let's jump straight into this first round doubles match. We started off with an absolutely ridiculous volley from myself. Definitely didn't mean for it to be that good. Now, I haven't had too many opportunities to play doubles this year so far, and I've actually played, I think, 2 in the last 3 or 4 months, so I definitely was lacking a little bit of experience, but Christian wasn't. He's won, I think, 2 back-to-back titles in Sharm and here in Heraklion, 2 weeks in a row, so he was definitely feeling it, but obviously body-wise, you know, he's been playing singles and doubles both weeks, so was definitely feeling it as well. He was telling me about some of the issues he was having before the match, but like a lot of the tennis players, you just gotta kind of figure out a way of moving through it. And as you can see, look how slow these courts are. Like, the guy was able to get there off a ball that was pretty much a put away. And you know, the match started off pretty solid. 2-all at the beginning. Lots of, you know, good contested points. Dimitri's absolutely slapping returns, and you know, a good come across to manage to find a break. I think overall we started off, you know, decent, I want to say, but there was just a couple of things here and there which we could have ironed out. Now, these two played very well as a pair. That is outrageous. You know, really strong hands at the net, and then also some really solid returns, which made it really tough to find, you know, spaces through. Like here, you can see I'm looking for a space, I'm looking for a chance to try and come across. Can't really find it, and then, you know, get passed on kind of thing. And sometimes it's just, you know, finding the right time to come across, and that's not very easy. And, you know, knew I had to win this service game to kind of keep us in this set, otherwise we could be in some serious trouble. Now, overall, I thought the level of this match was pretty solid, but we did have 3 chances to break there, and a great reaction volley from then forced us to lose the first set. Now, that was very frustrating. I think we had a lot of chances. We kind of felt like we'd come back in this set, but they were really making it, honestly, pretty tricky for us. Like there, you know, communication. I didn't know whose racket it was coming off, so I couldn't really tell what the angle of the ball was. So kind of we knew at the beginning here, you know, tough point to lose at deuce, but you know, we kept the energy positive, because we knew, you know, in doubles anything can happen pretty much. So we were confident that we could find a way back into this match. We just had to believe, we had to keep playing and find our chance. And I nearly got there, but the railing was in the way. That would have been such a cool highlight. I was actually so mad that railing was in the way there, to be honest. It was also quite an important point, but as you can see here, getting a couple of break points to level it out here in the second set. Christian, great move forwards, putting some pressure on, and now we're back to level in this set. And with some solid serving, we keep that scoreline. But Dimitri's putting out some insane returns, really putting me under some pressure here on my serve. And we do lose a break, and now our opponents are serving for the match. And at sudden death juice, our opponents had their first match point. Honestly, I was so tight here. And they just put that ball long and takes it to 5-all. A really clutch point there to be able to win, and that really gave us a little positive momentum and confidence going into this final stages of the second set. We get past down the line, and we unfortunately go out in the first round. Also quickly guys, over 50% of you that watched last week's video haven't subscribed, so if you haven't already, it's the best way to support the channel. Go down there, subscribe, it would really mean a lot to me. Now, let's carry on with the video. Now, just a quick side note, these guys went on to actually win the tournament, so congratulations to these two, great job this week, but was really a testament to how tough that draw was, and if we had maybe had a little bit more in the second set, I think we could have really gone all the way. Right guys, frustrating match. Yeah, not many words to say, to be honest. Was pretty frustrated with how it ended. You know, tie break's never easy. They played some good tennis. I think we're both a little bit flat at moments. We didn't really complement each other on the court as well, even though we did have some good moments. It goes to show that, you know, some doubles experience, it really helps. These guys are playing every single week, week in, week out. I actually look back, and I think before the match I played maybe 7, 8, 9 doubles matches roughly already this year, which, you know, as a pro is not that many. An indicator of how tough tennis is. I signed in for the wildcard tournament, and I'm going on in 10 minutes because it's a different event, get a little bit less downtime, and yeah, I'm just going to go out there with the mindset of, you know, trying to do something on the court. Very easy in this position to be, when I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, to just basically tank it, honestly, because it doesn't count for anything. The winner of the tournament gets a main draw wildcard, which is obviously nice, but you've got to win 4 or 5 matches to get there. Staying in the present is going to be key, but let's at least get a win. Vamos. So just for context, these wildcard tournament matches are short sets, so first to 4 games with a tiebreak at 4-all, and there's a match tiebreak at the end. And we were also playing sudden death juices, so these matches were going to be pretty quick. And in the first round, I was playing a player called Hugh Winter from Australia. He's ranked around 1,000 in the world for doubles and 1,000 in the world for ITF Pro Singles, and he was also around 60 in the world for juniors, and he's only 18 years old, and he also had a higher UTR than me, which for the first round of the wildcard tournament felt a little bit tough, but I was ready for the challenge. So going into this first wildcard tournament match, obviously a little bit kind of down after losing that doubles, but really wanted to try bounce back here in this match. I kind of felt like I was playing quite free. I don't know what it was, obviously out of the main tournament, and with this not being like a UTR match or like a kind of professionally sanctioned match. I don't know, that sounds strange, but you know, it wasn't something which was going to go on record kind of thing. I felt very loose and free. It was a great opportunity to play my game, really try and hit through my shots and find ways of beating my opponent. Now, I think watching myself back, again, I talked about this in last week's video, is so valuable for so many players to actually improve their own games. Watching it back, breaking it down, finding the things that you could have done slightly better, and then going onto court and working on them, I think is a very critical part of the game that not a lot of people actually do if they want to improve, you know. And one thing I thought I was doing pretty well here was just being consistent, forcing my opponent to basically hit winners to win points, forcing him to do quite a lot, which put a little pressure on him to play some really good points. And as you can see here, getting a break point chance and forcing the error. You know, on these courts it was pretty slow conditions, so really had to try and impose myself, come forward to the net as much as possible. That's definitely what I was trying to do here. Could have stayed forward there, but I forced the error anyway. And obviously with the sudden death juice here at 2-love, little bit of a tight point, just get caught out on the backhand slightly. A little bit of a, I don't know, a check, like on the court, the ball just bounced slightly into me there. And just the legs just stopped working. But again here, looking for chances to just stay consistent on the backhand, being a lot more solid on there, which I'm like super happy about. Also taking those returns early, just getting a lot more cross, like less central, and really defending deep with that forehand side, looking for chances to try and, you know, take it cross, take it angle. Opening up the court is super important, and, you know, finding ways of coming forwards is going to make your life so much easier, you know, if you can do that effectively. And we take the first set because of it. Good start. Now let's see what happens in the second. And points like that where I'm just running like a crazy person, it's just forcing him to play one extra ball and know he's never gonna get a free point out of me. You know, points like this even, okay, could have put the point away a little bit earlier. That line ball on the slice, to be fair, lenient call watching it back now, but in the moment I called it in. Good open stance backhand, he opens the court, didn't quite defend with enough depth. Got my footing a little bit wrong, and a juice point here to try and hold my serve. Second of the match on my serve, just go a little bit wild with the forehand. I think in these moments it's about bouncing back. He's one game away from the set, but I said to myself, look, it's 4-all here if you actually count it by the normal game. So actually a really good test to see what my mental resilience is like. And yeah, nice hands there at 30-all, quite a big point, and I managed to take it on a sudden death juice. And here, you know, I thought, okay, maybe I can, you know, sneak a break and really put some pressure on him to take this set. An outrageous forehand inside in return. Had no right to be hitting a forehand from that far in the court. Really gave me a lot of confidence coming into this next game, and we leveled it out at 3-all. And as you can see here, I went full aggressive mode. I managed to get the break in an absolutely crazy point. So much defense going on there, and now it's about whether I can serve it out. And just going the wrong way on my first match point. This point was big because I didn't want to have a sudden death juice on match point, and I get the error into the net and take the win to move forward to the second round.
Right, so apparently the guys left me some food. Please. Come on. Vamos. Just got back to the room. Yeah, really high level match. I mean, this guy, I think he was 60 in the World Juniors, so clearly a strong player. A tough round to get in the first round of like a wild card tournament, you know. Did a good job of coming back in the second set there. So I was thinking of just giving it to him and just trying to play a breaker, but I thought maybe if I can kind of come back, I can put some pressure on him. Now, what do? Do you stretch or do you eat? Eat a little bit and then stretch. Look at that. We've got the chicken with rice. Gonna smash that down. We're getting shredded as well.
Yes, guys, so about to go on for the second round of wildcard tournament. Had a little bit of a chill day. Did a lot of work, starting at 6
PM, so not too bad. Apparently the guy that I'm playing makes loads of balls. So against these types of guys, you've got to go in with the right mindset. Try and win your service games as easily as possible. Put some pressure, and because it is short sets, I'm just going to really try and do damage. Like, I don't mind if I lose a couple of games. Just play with confidence, make him move, and don't get sucked into his games. That's pretty much the plan. Let's go get it done. Vamos. And in my second round match, I was going to play a Greek player with UTR that was also a little bit higher than mine. I'd watched him play in his previous match, and he was an absolute grinder. So I knew on these courts it was going to be tough. A little side note, the balls and court combination here were really, really tricky to play. They were super slow courts, and you had to hit the ball so much harder and put a lot more pressure on the wrists, the joints. And when you're playing these longer matches, all of that compound, and it becomes so much more physical. So get ready for an absolute battle in this match. So round 2 of the wildcard tournament. Now at this point, obviously, I kind of knew if I'm playing a match every single day and I don't win the tournament, I'm a little bit cooked, because the only way you get a major wildcard is if you win. And I had a little bit of a conversation with my coach and kind of knew to just take every match with a pinch of salt, because if I was tiring myself out every single day with matches on top of the training that I was already doing each day, it was going to compound, and by the time I get to Sunday, I was going to be fried. And obviously to get ATP points, I have to win 3 matches in the qualifying on back-to-back days and a match in main draw. So that's a lot of tennis. And as you can see from this match, these matches aren't a walk in the park. They're, you know, long matches with a lot of points where you have to really think and construct the point, especially on these courts like I mentioned, them being super kind of slow. Coming forwards here was going to be my best friend, really trying to find ways of breaking my opponent down. And you know, you can see 1-1 in the beginning of this match, playing pretty confidently again, coming forwards. When the balls are a little bit newer, you get a little bit more purchasing power on your shot. You know, you get a bit more speed on the ball, and I really wanted to make the most of that, you know, towards the beginning of this match. Now, I think the level of this match was actually pretty high. Like, balls like that were good misses for me, because this match was mainly about really trying to play the right tennis. And as you can see there, a backhand long is a rare miss for me, so definitely on the right lines. A lot more depth to really do some damage to my opponents was needed. And playing some really solid tennis, I feel like I'm much more confident on my backhand side to get the ball deep, hit the ball where it needs to be for my opponent not to do damage, which I was particularly enjoying. I think sometimes I can kind of get caught in the backhand cross a little bit too much, even though balls like this, it feels great, it like works really well, but I just like to see myself getting on the forehand here a little bit too much, not relying on the backhand side. Yes, I won the battle, but over the match, is it really going to benefit me as much? And sometimes that's where the tactical elements kind of come in, where you've really got to think about it. And scrambly points like this, can't put the volley away at all. Get like a super short one. I thought he was going to go straight at me, so I put the racket out. As you can see, very tight towards the beginning of this match, and coming forwards, not always, working in my favour, let's say, especially if my opponent can kind of get the ball low, short. And I kind of knew that I'd have to start constructing the points slightly differently. Otherwise, either the point's going to go on for absolutely ages, or, I'm going to have a really hard time of, winning points. I think you can see here already how much slower kind of the ball's moving, how much shorter it's going in the court. And that's not really because of how I'm hitting it, like technically, it's mainly just because of how heavy the ball is, like how hard you actually have to hit it to get that depth and height on the ball. Very, very important point here at 30, or for me, if I can find a way of winning it, that I've got a good chance to take this first set. And you can see it's an absolute grind. I tried to maybe entice him into the net with that slice. I do manage to do it. He hits a great drop shot there, and you can't complain too much about those types of points, doing all of the right things, and him playing a good point in the end, and going for the forehand again, good miss. So now it's a tiebreak to 7 to settle the first set. straight forehand up the line. You can see just by the length of these rallies how physical this match was. Luckily the conditions weren't too hot, it was a little bit humid, but as you can see here, 3-all again. Really just a battle between trying to find that consistency and forcing an error, but also going for it enough to give myself chances to come to the net or be aggressive. And yeah, just shanking that ball slightly long, just mistiming it. Again, one of the risks with you know, having these long points, because there's just more stuff that can kind of go wrong. I prefer to usually try and take it into my own hands and be aggressive. But again, another point here at 5-4 that was pretty crucial. And having the chance to go down the line and not being able to take it. I had the play on the ball, which was even more frustrating. And at 6-4 here, absolute scramble, but my opponent putting away the smash and taking the first set. 5-4, very well fought battle. Now at this point I began to have a slight problem in my left wrist. I began to get slight, you know, like kind of aching pain. Now in the moment this was something for me which wasn't a big issue. I've always kind of conditioned myself to play through pain. I've had elbow surgeries, I've had a lot of pain over my years playing tennis, but yeah, at this point I kind of began to lose hope that I could win this match. And you know, like I said earlier, knowing that this Sunday I wanted to be fit and ready, I still wanted to compete and try and win the points, but I just think that, you know, part of me just wanted to enjoy the match, play the right tennis and use it more as a practice session than winning to win the wildcard tournament. Now I think overall sometimes you have to, you know, cut off the arm to save the body, so to speak. You know, in tennis matches, I'll bring you to some of you guys that will have watched the channel for a while. I played a wildcard tournament in Portugal a while back. Basically, I gave away the second set 6-0 to have a chance to win the tiebreak, and I ended up winning the whole wildcard tournament to get through to the main draw. So this is kind of giving me similar vibes. Even with that being said, the level was still super high, and I really wanted to try and, you know, hit my forehand, hit my backhand the way that I wanted to. And as a tennis player, that kind of perfection never really goes away, no matter like what the score is or what your intention is. Right guys, so I was pretty mad after that match, as you could tell, and mainly due to the fact that I'd lost, but also the fact that I had some pain in my wrist. Now, a little update on what's happened. The day after that match, I woke up with some very, very extreme wrist pain, like to the point where this was my right wrist, but it was on my left wrist. When I was doing this movement, I had extreme pain. So I booked a flight home instantly. I booked myself an MRI. Essentially what the MRI said is that I have a stage before tendonitis. So it's a tendinopathy, which means that a couple of weeks of rehab, if I keep doing my wrist exercises and start strengthening the tendon a little bit, the inflammation will go away and my wrist will be strong. To prevent it from coming back any further, I should slowly, incrementally increase my tennis volume over the next couple of weeks. Good news, nothing major. It's not going to be something which sets me back, and it's not something which really changes my tournament plan over the next few weeks. I'm actually here in Paris where I'm filming some cool content with a tennis brand, and I'm still able to do all of these cool things, so there's a lot of content coming to you guys. Go add me on Snapchat and on Instagram if you want to kind of see what's going on in my kind of more day-to-day life with some of the stuff that I'm doing. But whilst I'm doing this rehab, I'm going to take this opportunity to, number one, get super fit in the gym. A lot of benefits to obviously being a much better athlete, doing my strength work, power work, and obviously on-court movement, which has been one of the key areas which I've been really working on over the last couple of months. I'm going to be taking the opportunity to create some really cool content for you guys. Obviously with me increasing my tennis volume, I'm on the court a little bit less and I'm able to put a little bit less focus on actually kind of playing tennis. The good thing is it's only my left wrist, so I can still still play forehand, serve, all of these areas. I was considering switching to the Roger Federer technique, but I don't think I'm talented enough for that, unfortunately. So yeah, and the final thing is that I'm going to be preparing for the grass court season. Super pumped to be playing on it, and I'm going to be showcasing how I'm getting onto the surface, some of the players that I'm playing, prodigies, pros even, also some tournaments that I'm going to be playing. So if you're excited for that, make sure to subscribe if you're new, click the like button if you're not. I'll see you guys in next week's video.